Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. So, Lich King has been a very interesting hero to play. I've noticed that as the weeks unfold post-buddy patch, that people are starting to get better and better with Lich King and pushing up some builds that are nearly impossible to beat. Lich King's buddy is the Puppers, but it has been changed, though slightly. It has changed that it is now an undead, because undead were exist now, and they didn't when the buddy patch initially rolled out. And the buddy for Lich King gives a bonus attack to the minions that reborn equal to the pupper's attack. It being an undead, if you get an early enough scaling mechanism for undead while playing a lot of other reborn cards, it is nearly impossible to actually catch up to Lich King. These runaway games don't happen that often, but still, the few players that know how this works and that this can dominate lobbies entirely, well, we're starting to see a little bit more of it these days. And, of course, this is my version of it. We go Arfus, Undead and Beast. There's both Undead and Beasts. Yeah, I guess we try it. Would dodge work on spells? Well, I can, In Diablo 3, block is just block. It's not like PoE where you have attack block and spell block. You just block damage. How much is PoE paying me? I just want to clarify. Without playing it whatsoever, you think Diablo 4 is better than PoE? You think that? I mean, maybe. It's possible. Dodge just said attacks in that article. Yeah.
That's how it's done. Good fight.
I am going to go ahead and
I am sending you back in 3, 2, 1.
dude, it doesn't even show the prices anymore. Okay, let me try to have a quick turn.
Never lose hope, hero.
There's no dragons, but that is a pretty good card. But also, this is a really good card. But I kind of want to stay away from those, so maybe I go for the Null. The Null would be pretty good. Okay. In Diablo, this costs like $70 US. This costs $100 US. This costs like $130 US. Okay, you get like cosmetics, but also if you get the expensive ones, you get 4 days early access to playing the game. The game has a battle pass after you buy it. You get the battle pass if you get the second one, and if you get the most expensive one, you get the battle pass and you get to skip 20 levels when the game comes out, in addition to playing 4 days early. Okay. Blizzard's monetization model is you buying that, which you will do while barely having played the game. Path of Exile's monetization model is you buying cosmetics after you're already bored playing that patch cycle. Okay, which game do you think has a higher requirement to entertain you and make good content? Okay, which one? Seriously, which one? Just think about the incentives. If PoE has a bad patch, they make like no money. Let's go with this.
A one-man army.
Just remember Diablo 3. Diablo 3 was one of the highest grossing games of all time. And after it came out, and like one patch 3 weeks later that nerfed the difficulty to piss easy, we had almost no updates for like 3 years.
Slow you down.
Again, that doesn't mean anything for sure, but I'm gonna play the hell out of D4, but so far the way these companies are looking to earn a buck, to me it looks like
I was hoping you'd pick this one.
the PoE guys have to make good content every time if they plan on staying in business, which they have for the last 10 years. So that's nice. I don't know. In my opinion, PoE has convinced me that it is a long-standing, wonderful game that I plan on playing for a long time to come. Diablo 4 might be great, might even be a better game, but it hasn't really convinced me of anything other than people are going to pay tons of money to play it in a few months.
No rest for the weary, hero.
I haven't tried Last Epoch yet. I mean, the PoE guys seem to be pretty interested in it, so it's probably at least pretty good.
Another victory. You are a true hero.
Oh, it has to be reborn, I see. Then I guess we kind of have to lean beast and undead. Attack, okay. Do I think they made Diablo 4 because the guy said it's a joke about Immortal? No, they're probably making Diablo 4 a long time before that.
Nothing can
I've made a
slow you
few.
down.
I've only made a few predictions about the Diablo genre. About 3 years before they announced Immortal, I told you guys with 100% certainty that the next Diablo title will be a mobile game. And it was. And I had high hopes that it would be a good one. I was very naive about that. The next prediction that I made about Diablo is that the ARPG genre is kind of capped. It's really difficult to improve it further, in my opinion. We'll see if I'm right about that one. Oh wow, the Sly Raptor's like ridiculous with the hero power. Also predicted the game Artifact would break Twitch, implying it'd be so popular. No, I didn't. I was one of the few that was not so crazy about it. I told you guys I'd give it a fair chance. I told you guys that it was very concerning that certain members of the community had been playing in closed beta for a year, including major streamers. A year. Very concerning. And that a lot of hype will be pushed because they're doing like $1 million tournament on launch, is what they said. I said that was very concerning. And I didn't mention it before I played, but I mentioned after I played, that I had to sit down with one of their devs about my concerns for a few parts about the game. That was completely ignored. So, I don't know. I was not, like, it's not like I've not been wrong about anything. I'm wrong about lots of things, but I don't believe I've been wrong about Artifact, and I don't believe I've been wrong about my predictions with ARPGs.
That's how it's done. Good fight. Power up.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That minion's true.
The $1 million tournament still hasn't happened, by the way. You just said you thought Diablo Immortal would be good. If they made Diablo Immortal not pay to win as hell, and actually had fair monetization models in it, which, by the way, I gave examples to one of their developers in the early stages, and they were pretty interested in what I had to say at the time. Obviously, that didn't happen. I mean, they turned Diablo Immortal less of a game focus into entirely cash machine. Entirely. Okay, I was wrong. I was wrong about that. I had hoped that they wouldn't do that. I'd hoped that they would take a hit in short-term profits in order to solidify themselves in the mobile space. I still think it was a very poor decision on their behalf. But I mean, I don't know how the company works. Maybe this whole Microsoft deal was like, well, Bill says he'll only buy us if we make X amount of money next quarter. What's the number for the Diablo Immortal team? Right? Like, I don't know. Right? There's a lot of things in the mix that maybe I'm not aware of. But I think Blizzard would have been in a better position in terms of market share and cross-platform presence if they made Diablo Immortal not pay to win at all. And yeah, sure, they would have made a few $1 million less, 100%. But, you know, a company that big, they can't afford to drop short-term profits. Okay. I haven't played Shadowburst in a few years. I don't know where it's at. The whole game was developed around the pay-to-win business model. I don't know that for sure. A lot of mobile games operate off of a premium currency that you pay for, and all the mechanics basically gravitate towards people who buy it. But in a similar way, you can have a premium currency that you can't outright buy. And you just have to, you know, earn it through difficult measures in the game or winning some form of events. Like, a lot of mobile games have, like, events like that. Like, kind of like competitions. So the game can be set up in similar ways around a few valuable currencies. Choosing to sell those directly or not is certainly not going to happen last minute, in my opinion, anyway.
Now that is what I call an upgrade.
Can make demons at least reborn. Do I want to do that? Not really. I've been trying to get reborn cards, and I'm not doing too well with that. Well, I haven't played D4 at all, if you think it's going to be this bad. I don't think it's going to be bad. I think it could be a really good game. It's just, it doesn't seem to have innovated many or possibly any mechanics, which is concerning. They're definitely making as much money from the launch as possible, which for-profit business, but it's not nice to see. Ultimately, I haven't really played it to really get a feel for it, and until I do, the opinions won't carry that much weight. Redefining itemization, yeah, totally.
You are doing super.
Oh no, my reborn. I hadn't lost health, but I think I had some ties leading up to that.
Time to debrief.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take like almost any reborn effect at this point.
Why don't you hire a new recruit?
I still have to fit the cards on the board. I guess I'll drop the Macaw. I guess best suited for that.
Reanimated. Repugnant.
Alright. D4 is basically taking aspects of Diablo 3, PoE, and Lost Ark, making it appeal to the masses, the same thing they did with WoW with all the other MMOs back in the day. Yes, that's the best case. But that's only the case if they do a really good job with that. Do I think Diablo 4 will be hard like Diablo 3 was in the beginning? They basically outlined a map system like PoE. If they give us a reason to farm that high level content, like if those maps, or sorry, those, what are they called? Nightmare sigils? If like the highest nightmare sigils are where the best loot is, then yes, it can be really hard. But if it's just like, if it's like farming Paragon XP, like if it's just like marginally faster at acquiring good gear or something like that, then it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, that's a beast, so I can give that reborn. And I want as much reborn as possible. Also would consider a selfless. Plus 20, plus 20.
Heroes must make sacrifices.
I am doing the unthinkable here. I do like some of those. Like when that reborns, it's kind of nuts.
I am the first Crypt Lord.
How green is Shaco going to be? Well, obviously Arfus was different before. There's only like a few cards with Reborn before, wasn't it? I think there's a lot more cards with Reborn now.
Keep it up.
Oh yeah, I bought the big edition. The best case for Diablo 4 being the best ARPG yet is not one I'm going to miss out on.
Had to be done.
Yeah, I should cash that in. I'm such a fanboy. What do you mean? Most of what I heard of D4 is fairly concerning. If I had to bet better than expectations or lower than expectations, I'd bet on lower than expectations. But I could be wrong. I don't know enough about the game. Best case is really good. The best case of it being one of the best games I've ever played, if not the best games I've ever played, is a possibility. Hopefully not that distant of a one, because I love Diablo. Well, we won't really see tomorrow. It's like a level 25 cap. That's probably not a lot. But we will understand more about the game tomorrow for sure.
With great power comes great win rates.
That kind of sucks. Really? Oh, nice.
Practice makes perfect.
Reanimated. Repugnant.
Nothing scares me.
Who are you
Except
calling
mice.
short?
Okay. Nerf the tier 4 minion so it doesn't remove taunt. I mean, it can be annoying to deal with some of these cards, but I don't think it's annoying enough
Doing super.
to prevent, like, potential counterplay, which I think is quite nice. Generally, counterplay is good.
Nothing scares me. Except
Well, that's a bit of a shift. Yeah, I only lost one match to the player that I killed. That's pretty good.